does. Now, there's a big one for Real Madrid this weekend. It's El Derby at home at the Bernabeu against Atletico Madrid. This has been a fixture that the home team has been successful this season, Janusz, with Atleti winning in the Cup and winning in the league against Real Madrid. However, I covered a lot of Atleti, and they're practically impenetrable at home. They haven't lost since Barca went there over a year ago. 27, 28 games unbeaten. But away from home this season, Janusz, they've only won 4 times. That's the reason they are where they are in third and playing catch-up to Real Madrid. What do you expect from this one on Sunday?
Well, I just think that because, some of the statistics, and as you said, the home sides has been better even recently, right? This is the third one in a month, third time they meet, although one was obviously Super Cup. So, I don't even know who was home for that one. But I think if I were Atleti in the position they're in, you go for it. You almost have to go for it. As Alex was saying, I think this weekend, next weekend decides La Liga for me, because I think Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid will beat Atleti, and I think Real Madrid will beat Girona at home. And I think after that, it's all said and done. I think, look, Real Madrid for me is clearly the best team in La Liga. Not to say, of course, that they won't drop points, but just so many different options, even with players being injured or being out, suspended, whatever it may be. So I think this is going to be a superb game. If Cholo Simeone does what I think he will do, is to kind of announce themselves in a way to say, looking at the table, doesn't seem like we're in it. But look, we're building. We're a little bit different these days. We're a little bit more expensive. We have 2 players in tremendous form. Obviously, we don't know if Alvaro Morata will be available. I suspect he will. But with Memphis Depay playing the way he's playing, what is he? Hasn't he scored like in the last 3 games? I always felt even when he left Barcelona, he should have stayed. He's capable of that. In between the time that he's injured and maybe difficult to manage sometimes, he's that sort of a player that he can do it consistently. So it's possible. I think it's going to be an open game again. I really do feel that. I hope anyway, with ultimately Real Madrid taking all 3 points.
Okay, Alex, Atleti. So in midweek, they found a way. They got there late on against Rayo. It was Griezmann and his delivery for Memphis and the goal in the last minute. So as Janusz said, Morata's likely to be fit. Vermeeren made his debut. It didn't work. He was replaced at half-time. So Koke is probably going to come in. Saul didn't get booked, so he's available. At the back, they've signed Gabriel Paulista, but he was on the bench in midweek. I think he'll be a good signing. How do you stop the 2 Brazilians in attack for Real Madrid? Who would be your best 3 at the back for Atleti this weekend?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? And of course, it's interesting to note that Rodrigo was on the bench for Real Madrid last night in Getafe. I was there watching that game, and it was Joselu, the other forward in the Real Madrid squad who scored twice. And we shouldn't forget about Joselu, the 2 danger men up front, alongside Jude Bellingham as well, whose goals have dried up a little bit, but I think he's still playing really, really well. The defence is a difficult one. You mentioned Gabriel Paulista coming in. Is it too soon to throw him in? I think it probably is, even given that he's a very experienced player, even given that he's played a lot of big games. I don't know if the fact that he's still, he's barely arrived, getting used to his teammates in training, I'm not sure you can put him into a game at that level. So I would be tempted to leave Gabriel Paulista out still. And then, you look at the other players that Atleti got available. You look at the fact that this season they haven't been as characteristically defensively solid as they have been in the past. You look at players whose form has sort of fallen apart, like Stefan Savic, players like Mario Hermoso, who's often quite inconsistent. It's a tricky one for Simeone in terms of how I think it's going to go. I think the fact that it's at the Bernabeu, as you've been saying, might well be decisive. And I'd back Real Madrid to win this one. I was really impressed with Madrid against Getafe last night and how easy they made what potentially was quite a tricky game look, even with all the absentees, all the injuries. Talk about Atleti's defence. What about Real Madrid's defence as well, of course, with Rudiger, the latest injury out? I think he'll be okay. They can't play Tchouaméni at the back because he's suspended. You've got Nacho, who's been out of form. So Real Madrid's defence has probably just as many, if not more, questions than Atleti's actually.
That was a stupid yellow card after the final whistle for Tchouaméni, so they'll miss him. But Janusz, prediction for you, home win?
Yeah, home win, Real Madrid in this one, 3-1. How about that?